Year Is with Red and Bobby.
Welcome back to the Year Is podcast, a podcast where every episode, me, Bobby Mair, and comedian Red Richardson, my co-host, go back to a year in history and we talk about the most interesting and weird things from that year. This episode, we are going back to 1950, Red.
Yep. Should be a good one. We were at 1455 last week, so this week we are way ahead, but still behind the present day.
Yeah, that's good that you. It's good that you know where the time machine is.
Yeah. I did a few sums and worked it out. So a few episodes ago, Bobby started a competition where whoever wrote the most insulting thing about me on social media would get a free ticket to his tour. We're going to reveal the winners at the end. We had an overwhelming and quite upsetting response from you guys. So
I think we got more insults than we have listeners. It was amazing. People really have went for Red. So tune in to the end of the episode when we reveal the best insults about Red's appearance.
And the winner of this horrible, horrible competition.
Really?
How have you been anyway? What's been going on?
Well, you're speaking to a man who's lucky to not be in prison.
Why? Yes, I know that, but what have you done now?
No. Well, because... Okay, so this month, me and Harriet decided we're going to do some gigs together.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know, my wife, also a comedian, Harriet Kemsley, and we have a baby who is now weeks old. The certain amount, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, so... weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a gig
You're
together.
going to say that when she's 10. You'll be like, she's loads of weeks old.
She's a decade or decades old.
Yeah.
So we go to Top Secret Comedy Club, best comedy club in London,
Agreed.
and Harriet's opening the show. I'm closing the show. Harriet is on stage. The baby is crying a bit, so I decide I'm going to take her for a walk, go to the car, buy a donut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, really what I was doing was I wanted to eat a donut in a car.
Was that a donut time up the road?
Yeah, donut time. It's like a 5-pound gigantic donut.
I got
better.
one yesterday.
It's not even better than Krispy Kreme. It is so overpriced for what you get. But it's 9 p.m. and I want a donut.
Of course you do.
So I go get my donut time donut. I have Mabel. Because I'm carrying Mabel's like bag that has all her like diapers and things in it. I'm carrying that. And then I'm carrying the baby. And I'm carrying my donut. So the baby's kind of resting on one arm a bit awkwardly. But her head's supported. I'm not dangling her like Michael Jackson style.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm walking down the street. I notice these two women quite close to me behind me. So I kind of turn around quickly to make sure they're not like coming for the baby. And then I start walking away and they go, "Excuse me, sir." I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" They said, "Are you okay?" And I was dressed in a full orange tracksuit and a bright yellow coat, but they were like clean. Like I looked good.
But you looked like you'd steal a baby and that sort of outfit.
Yeah, that's what was happening. These people thought I may be stealing a baby, I think. So this lady goes, "Are you okay, sir?" I was like, "Yeah, fine." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, just the way you're holding the baby, you look like you need help."
Oh.
And I was like, "I don't need help. Thank you. I'm just holding one arm because I'm carrying a bag. Everything's fine." She's like, "Well, where are you going?" I'm like, "Just to my car." "I'm good though. Thanks." She's like, "Well, are you sure you don't need help? You look like you need help." I was like, "I don't need help. I'm okay." This is insane. I was just like, "You're just being sexist right now. Like, I'm fine. I don't need help." But in my head, what I realized is I feel like she's stalling to keep me there because she thinks I've kidnapped this baby.
Yeah, of course.
So she's like playing it kindly, but actually the police are about to arrive and take my baby away. So then I thought, well, how would a kidnapper act? A kidnapper would try to be very charming and kind and make them think everything's okay. But what would an angry parent do? Well, an angry parent might do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, "Okay, so what is going on?" She's like, "I just think you need help." And I was like, "I don't." She's like, "Well, I have kids." I was like, "Oh, you have kids?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, go fucking play with them."
Yeah, where are they now? While you're out policing other parents.
And then I walked away. And I went and sat in my car with Mabel, shoved a donut into my face. And they kept like walking by the car like they were patrolling, just to make sure I wasn't like smothering the baby.
Yeah. You just forgotten it on the floor outside the car. The thing is, if you're wearing an orange track, like if I was to steal a baby, I'd never wear an orange tracksuit.
No, you don't peacock while stealing. Like you don't wear.
No.
What you want to be like inconspicuous if you're stealing a baby. Like you want to be like, oh yeah, jeans and a black T-shirt. You know, like you right now.
Exactly what I'm right now, all black.
Yeah, like a mime.
In through the window, out of the cot, climb back down into the night.
Is that what a mime would wear?
No, it's what. Yeah, maybe a mime would wear it. It's but yeah. Well, that's a horrible story, Bobby.
I know. And then they kept walking by the car, and I kept just like looking up at them, but they'd like pretend to not look.
Mm.
It's like if you think someone is stealing a baby, don't be afraid of offending them and not call the police. Call the police if you think I'm stealing a baby.
Yeah.
Don't not call the police and just wander by to see what's happening with the kidnapping. Like, well, it seems like he's treating the baby better than the parents probably ever would.
Did you feel like winding them up more and pretending to drop and go, woo?
No.
Like, have you got any crack I can smoke while I'm so boring looking after a kid, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to inhale crack into my body.
You know, when your kids cry, do you shake them to make them stop?
How do you love baby? I should have said that.
Yeah.
I have a baby. Well, how do you love your baby? I love my baby by looking and licking.
My baby changes my nappy.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can see kind of problems.
That's what everyone said. I don't need this argument. Everyone I has told this story to has said, well, I can see where they were coming from. I don't need you to see where they were coming from. I want you to be on my side. I don't want you to be like, well, you do look like someone who would steal a baby. And it's like, I know.
Did Harriet see where they were coming from?
Yes.
Right. I think that closes it.
I think Harriet's parents saw where they're coming from. Everyone saw where
How
they
were
were
you
coming
holding
from.
it? Like you're just walking along
No,
like it's a plastic bag.
You can hold anyone who has a child knows you can hold a baby with one hand very safely.
I think Harriet should start gaffer taping the baby to your stomach. So next time you get a little donut craving.
Well, they have these like the things you can use.
Yeah, papoose.
You strap a papoose.
Yeah, get
is
one
that what
of
you call it?
It's what it's
We
called.
have one. A papoose, as Red calls it. You can strap the baby with the papoose.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the papoose with me.
It's called a papoose, isn't it, Jody?
And it always takes like 10 minutes to put the kid in the papoose. By the time you put them in the papoose, you could have just got to where you're going.
Yeah, but you still won't have MI5 run coming to get you.
I mean, it was insane. I wanted to be like, if you don't stop, I'm going to kidnap your baby. But that I don't think that would have helped.
No, that wouldn't work.
If you don't fuck up. And there was this guy with a dog and who was like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, these
Mind
ladies
your
think
own
I'm
fucking
stealing.
business. I'm stealing his baby.
Yeah. I don't need to fight you, the dog, the two women, just to get this kid out of the country.
I was told this would be an easy transaction.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, that's that covered, I think. 1950, Bobby. What have you got for me?
1950, it's a post-war year. I think my favorite thing about 1950 that I found was Richard Branson was born.
Okay.
The man who's done many things successfully and somehow none of them impressive.
No, he's still but he's done a lot of things, bad things as well. He sued the NHS, didn't he?
He did sue the NHS. They wouldn't award him a contract for a children's hospital.
Yeah, it's weird that him and Captain Tom are both knighted. Feels odd, doesn't it?
You think they're in collusion?
No, I just think you get knighted for suing the NHS and you get knighted for walking around your garden for the NHS.
That
it's
would
kind
have
of mixed messages. How do I get knighted?
That would have been a UFC fight I wanted to see.
Yeah, well, I think Branson would have him. Branson's the sort of guy who probably does like Wing Chun or something. A lot of yoga.
But yeah, you know a lot about Branson, don't you?
Well, I know probably as much as the next man. Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records.
Virgin Space.
Virgin Space.
I don't know if that's what it's called.
He went into space while we were in lockdown, didn't he? Was it lockdown when he went in? Yeah. And then he just sort of like put loads of selfies on the internet of him like, yeah. And everyone's like picking up furlough. It's like, no, there's no lockdown in space. Yeah, he seemed to have a good time doing that. It was quite tone deaf, I think.
No, I think it was right what we wanted. Because these people are going to space. The billionaires are going to space. We've talked about this before. But they really think they're like inspiring us.
Mm-mm.
They're making all the plebs think, maybe our lives could be better. Maybe one day we could be billionaires who go to space. And it's like, yeah, that's not.
That's not it.
It just makes us think.
It's just Bezos. Actually, just most of the people who you want to inspire actually just want to be able to use a loo while they're at work.
Yeah.
One of your fucking death factories.
We've talked about it before, but these billionaires just think that, like, by going into space, they're inspiring us and they're making us think anything is possible. But actually, what we're thinking is, stay there.
Or just spend your money on helping someone else because you're spending billions on doing that. But yeah, Branson's he's got the island, doesn't he? Necker Island.
Yeah, and people would talk about it a lot, but then Epstein's island has really usurped Branson's island.
Yeah, he used to have the most famous billionaire island. It's not anymore. Yeah, he's got that place, but it's he's got a nephew who changed his name was Ned Branson, I think, and he changed his name by default to Ned Rock and Roll, and he's like high up in Virgin, and he married Kate Winslet. But he just seems like the biggest tosser in the world at 45, changing his name to Ned Rock and Roll. Always bothered me.
I just can't imagine being Kate Winslet.
Mm.
You're Kate Winslet. You're one of the most beautiful, famous, very good actor.
Very good actor.
And then you marry someone named Ned. Is she going to take the name? Hello,
Kate
yes,
Rock and Roll. Because she's the
Rock and Roll.
least rock and roll person ever as well, I think.
She seems like
I don't think she took the name. She was married to that director, wasn't she? Sam Mendes, was it? Yeah, she's married to Sam Mendes. Yeah, she goes to him, to some nephew of Branson, who's a horrific little rich kid who I just think works for Richard and doesn't do much else.
I like that your assessment of a man is always, no, I don't like him.
No, that's it.
That's your assessment of whenever you assess someone, you're like, I don't like him, I just think he's a lazy rich kid.
Yeah, and I think he could have done anything for me, and I'd probably still go, yeah, I just can't get behind you changing your last name.
To rock and roll.
Yeah, like if I was dying and someone did a life-saving operation on me, and I came to and I said, oh, who do I thank? And they go, this is Dr. Rock and Roll. I'd say, fuck you, put it back in.
Put the tumor back in.
Yeah, I don't want to be alive on a planet where I was saved by a person who changed their last name to Rock and Roll. It's pathetic.
But what if, like, would you ever change your last name?
No, why would you?
Because
unless I like kidnapped a baby, then yeah, I would, because I'd have to.
If you're on the run.
Yeah, if I'm on the run.
I think a good last name for you, because you're Red Richardson, could be like Red Rocket.
No, I think that'd be too obvious. I'd do what we did when we were talking about the French king. It'd be Tony Niçoise. Sophisticated but tough. Can fit in anywhere.
Tony Niçoise.
Can fix your drain pipes, but also knows a good red wine when he sees one.
Look out, it's Tony Niçoise.
Yeah. The talk of the town. Where did he come from, with this baby?
Also, you couldn't, if you were to change your name, you couldn't change your name to Red something, because Red is the defining part of your name.
That's
people
the
would
problem.
People are like, Red Richardson is on the run, and then some new neighbor of yours be like, I don't know a Red Richardson, but Red Rocket is sure going to be surprised that somebody was with his first name and same face. He must have a twin he doesn't know about.
Yeah, of course.
Also named Red.
Yes. I think Branson's look has always been a part of his problem as well. He's got the look of a twat, don't you think? He's got those long sort of golden like hair, and he's always looked annoying to me.
I kind of disagree with your assessment of the man.
Why would you like him?
I would like to go, I really just want it to be stated that I think Richard Branson is a great entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And as a part of the Virgin family myself, I would like to extend apologies to Virgin for everything you've said about Mr. Rock and Roll.
Okay, yeah. Richard Branson, he looks like the sort of person, if you had a breakdown and your wife left you and then your kids stopped speaking to you and the new stepdad was like, they just said, he's actually like my real dad, that person would look like Richard Branson looks. That's how he looks to me.
again, as someone who's now trained to be a pilot for Virgin Airlines.
Wait, no one would trust you. People don't trust you holding your own baby, let alone a fucking plane full of other people's.
That's Red. It was an online course.
Yeah.
It was called Virgin Flying.
Mm-hmm.
And it took 6 weeks.
Yep.
And I can fly a plane now.
Oh, really?
They told me all I had to do was I had to give them a registration fee of like £6,000.
Are you sure this isn't Al Qaeda?
No. I paid £6,000 for an online flight training course, and now I work for Virgin Airlines. I was told via email.
Well, you probably won't after this podcast.
I've been waiting for the call.
He's been slandered.
I've been waiting 9 weeks for them to call. I think they've had a big backlog with a lot of new pilots.
Yeah.
But when I get the call, it's going to be good.
Okay, well, good for you. Did you hear about the fire on Branson's Island? Because I heard he set that fire himself. Try and burn evidence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, as an online pilot for Virgin Airlines, that is slanderous. You are slandering my good friend I've never met, Richard Branson.
It's what I heard. I heard he set fire to his own island because it was an Epstein-style sting operation coming, and he had to set fire to the place. And Kate Winslet saved his
Have
grandma.
you ever taken one of his trains?
Yeah, they're horrible. Overpriced and shit. His planes are shit, too.
Oh, so his trains are overpriced now?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you don't like toilets that talk to you?
Do they? What do they say?
They say, I don't remember the exact...
Hello, Bobby. Are you sure you
Welcome
were they
to
talking
the toilet.
To
Please don't flush things down it that are not toilet stuff.
Is it if you don't take your meds, the toilets talk to
No,
you?
the Virgin toilets do talk to you. Anyone engaging with this will know that Virgin, don't you? Virgin toilets talk to you.
So they made you a pilot, and that loser now speaking to you.
You when you hit the locked door button, they go, the door is locked.
Okay.
You've never used it. See, the reason you're not enjoying Virgin trains clearly is because you sit on the train and then you just shit yourself thinking there's no toilet, and you're like, this train is terrible. No, Red, you just have to stop shitting yourself on the train and use the toilet that talks to you.
I don't want to speak to the toilet.
The toilet speaks to you. You don't speak back. I mean, you can speak back, but the toilet then doesn't. If the toilet says the door is locked, you don't go, oh, that makes me feel a bit claustrophobic. The toilet doesn't go, oh, you feel claustrophobic. I'm sorry. It doesn't respond. It's not an AI toilet. It's an automated voice.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll be sure to check that out next time I'm on the loo.
How have you missed this?
I know it just says door closing. That's on everything.
And let me guess, you don't. Well, also you'd have no interest in Branson because you don't like records. You're not a music person.
I
are
used
you?
to have Virgin Records. It was boring. I like music, but
what? I've been in cars with you. You've never listened to music.
Yeah,
I've never been in your house with music was playing unless Rosie put on.
That's because we don't sit there having parties together.
Yes, we do. We've had many parties together.
We're usually arguing about something stupid. So I wouldn't just put Sam Cooke on them in the background, would I?
You like Sam Cooke?
Well, yeah, I like Sam Cooke.
That's news to me.
Okay, what do you like?
I also like Sam Cooke, actually.
And you've got loads of his on CD, I assume, from Virgin.
Well, yes. What's happened is, again, I got an email from Virgin Records, and they asked me for a small donation to help keep the company afloat. I gave them £3,000, and they said the records are coming.
Okay, so you're waiting.
That was 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But hopefully soon.
Yeah, okay. Do you know Kate Winslet saved Richard Branson's mum from the fire Branson started himself?
He didn't start the fire himself, but I did in fact know, yes, Kate Winslet did save Richard Branson's mom because she, like him, is a hero. So she picked up his mother once a fire started and carried her out of the villa.
Past all the burning hard drives and into the sea.
And Richard Branson ran.
Yep.
He was so concerned for his mother that he ran naked to the fire to help.
Did he actually?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Which means the same day Kate Winslet saved Richard Branson's mother, her reward was seeing Richard Branson's dick.
for every cloud,
there are more clouds.
there are more clouds. There's rainstorms.
A storm is coming.
Yeah.
We're all going to die.
I bet he's got a smug dick.
Wow, you're really taking him down now, aren't you?
I bet he's got the smuggest dick in the world. Yeah. That's what his dick looks like when it's running at you with a fire behind it.
What? Meh?
Yeah.
No, it's powerful.
Yeah, what's it like? Hey.
Hello, I'm Richard Branson's penis. And I just do what needs to be done. Please stop putting me places I shouldn't be. Richard.
Richard, please stop it. Okay, well. It's all alleged, what I've said, by the way. Alleged. Can't you just say that? And that means you can just say what you want now?
It's all made up. You're just making things up.
I have heard it. I've heard it from various people.
I feel like we should put a disclaimer at the top of the episode. Everything Red says in this episode is a lie. He is an idiot.
And Bobby's a pilot. Anyway,
I am a pilot. I'm just waiting on the paperwork.
I want to get into what I found out, Bobby, because I've had enough of Richard Branson for one day. I think everyone has. Monday morning, Richard Branson talk. It gets a bit much. So in 1950, and this was news to me, I have to say, Canadians Harry Waziliak and Larry Hansen and Frank Plomp. What a name.
Did you work on the pronunciation of that?
I didn't, but it's Harry Waziliak. Wasylyk. Say it how you want in your own head.
Was like.
Thank you very much.
That's what I'd say.
My favorite name from that bit is Frank Plomp. None of us could have done this without Frank Plomp.
You've pronounced all.
Sounds like a shit, doesn't it?
You've actually pronounced all the names wrong.
Okay.
It's Harry was like.
Mm-hmm.
Larry. Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Plomp.
Frank Plomp. Sounds like a dump. I don't know what you did with Larry Hansen. Is that a joke from a song or?
That's the song. That's the band Hanson.
Oh, okay. I get it. So
their hit 90s song Bop.
I wasn't in Virgin Records
Bop.
the day that came out. I know the song. I just didn't know it was from Hanson. But that was good.
Who did you think sang Bop?
I didn't give a shit. I've never thought, I wonder who sings this. I need to put it on my car. Anyway.
You don't have a car.
No, but I can borrow one from Rosie's mum's.
Yeah, you can. I know that. Yeah. Whenever you need to, you can borrow one.
Yeah, I could borrow yours.
You could. I've told you many times you can borrow my car if you need to.
So, could have a car. Like that.
I had a friend call me, and he's trying to get his license. And he was like, listen, I haven't driven yet. I haven't taken any lessons.
Mm.
So I've never driven, but I was wondering if I could borrow your car to practice. And I was just like, I don't know. I might be busy for the next 3 months. I think my car died. It's in the ground now. No.
Can you babysit at the same time?
Yeah. Is there a way we can put the baby on your lap while you drive my car, having never driven before? It's really just, it's not like we live in the middle of nowhere where you can teach someone to drive comfortably.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of London. There's no way you're not going to hit something.
Yeah, there's no dirt tracks around.
I just avoided.
No, that's a good shout, Bobby. Anyway, back to Harry, Larry, and Frank Plomp, the boys. They introduced plastic bin bag for garbage collection. Until 1950, there was no bin bags. So this is what I read in my studies. Before the invention of trash bags, Americans buried their trash, burned it, or tossed it across the street, where hogs roamed freely and pungent garbage regularly overflowed. If you're a farmer, you probably feed your trash to your goats, pigs, chicks, or dogs. Rats everywhere. My favorite thing is just someone just opening their front door and just throwing the trash across the street at their neighbor's house, who in turn throws their trash back at them.
It seems like a good system.
Yeah. It's just funny when people get nostalgic for the past, and then you go, yeah, but you were just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
We weren't on our phones 24 hours a day. So no, because you were fending off rats.
But you have to remember also, like, not everything was so pre-packaged, you know? There wasn't just, like, layers of cardboard surrounding everything you buy.
No.
Like, maybe you buy a giant sack of pasta or something.
Yeah,
you just make your own, probably. Everything you didn't, it wasn't, the level of waste we have right now probably didn't exist in the same way then.
No, you weren't, like, chucking packs of prawn wontons and chow mein across the street at your neighbour.
There's no daily takeaways.
Glass bottles of vodka. Just that would be quite good though. Then probably there was less waste as well, I imagine, because you're like, I'm gonna have to fucking whatever you don't eat, we throw at the old lady who lives next door. So if you want to do that, son,
But
scalding soup.
I would be terrible at living then, like with the food, because I never clear my plate.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever old people, if you don't finish your food because they grew up in like the Great Depression,
they're
they were
like,
always like,
"You're
"You
still-
put food on the plate," and they're like having a fucking mental breakdown because it reminds them of like their brother starving to death or something.
Yeah.
And how you could have saved him by eating this fucking piece of chicken, but I never do. There's always food left on my plate. I know that even if I was alive back then, I would eat half the food and I go, I'm full, and be like, what do you mean you're full?
But I think you'd thrive better with the garbage system, because I can see you fully just opening the door and just flinging the contents of your plate across the street and then going back inside and sitting down. I just like that they're where hogs roamed freely. So does that mean just pigs were just walking the streets?
I don't know. I don't know if the imagined America in the article that you've researched with is quite the America. Like I've read about 1950s America. I've never heard of just hogs are roaming freely.
It does. Yeah, that wasn't in any of the. You didn't see that in the Have a Dream speech, did you?
No.
Just hogs walking around.
So who were these guys? What do we know about them?
They were just some entrepreneurs, inventors who from Winnipeg.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is-
looking up this guy. So, yeah, I just found him. Oh, not far away.
He came from near you.
Harry was from Winnipeg, which is the other side of the country.
Mm.
But Larry Hansen was from Lindsay, which is quite close to where I grew up. And they invented the first disposable polyethylene.
Yeah, but they invented it because they'd had enough. They'd had enough of hogs roaming the streets and rats being everywhere.
I just want to know how much they made.
Yeah, because he's got quite a small Wikipedia, and usually when someone's invented something, they go on to do something else.
But I guess, can you patent the garbage bag? Did they?
You'd like to think you could.
If they did, their family must. We'd know about these people.
If they did, they'd have some disgraced ancestor who was a senator who got caught like shagging someone dressed as a Nazi, as usually is the case. You know what I mean? Like that's always what happens when you go on someone's Wikipedia, who was successful in like the early 20th century. They always have some offshoot who in like 1996 got caught smoking crack.
Oh, so he sold it. They sold it to Union Carbide company in Lindsay, and Union Carbide is owned by Dow Chemical, which is one of the biggest.
Well, I hope they got their money's worth because it's a bloody good invention. You just think that's the sort of thing that everyone would have thought of before. I'm not talking about the materials, but you go, I either throw this outside, bury it, or burn it.
But this is the disposable bag. They probably had bags. They'd have like sacks.
No, this is the rubbish bag.
No, but
This is bin bag for garbage collection.
Yeah, but before they wouldn't have the manufacturing capability to make a bin bag.
But before these guys came along, you'd either bury it, burn it, or throw it at your neighbour.
You don't think they had dumps anywhere?
They'd have dumps. There's terrible things. They used to get Franklin would get slaves to sail down the river with it and just go get rid of it there. They'd have jumped in lakes and stuff like that. They'd dispose.
So you're
of
telling me in 1949, slaves?
No, this is back. This is before. So whenever Benjamin Franklin's time was, they'd just send people off on ships full of garbage and just say get rid of that, which is pretty fucked up. And dump it in the sea, dump it in New York off the piers. They dump it, so everywhere just stank of shit all the time, and there was just rats everywhere. Apparently, there was rats and cockroaches in the White House because they had no way of. They just didn't know, and it's like no wonder there was diseases and outbreaks of disease. Not that we can talk in our modern era.
Sounds like a better time.
Why?
Because there was just less like plastic. Sounds like a better time to me.
Also, if you're hungry, you could just walk along, pick up an apple, half-bitten apple, shake a rat off it, and that's lunch.
When I used to smoke cigarettes, I mean, this is disgusting thinking about it. I was so hooked. If I was out of cigarettes and there's nowhere to buy cigarettes, I would pick cigarette butts up off the street and smoke them.
That is so disgusting. that is
like and then people think I'm homeless, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm living the life of a homeless man.
Is this what you were doing when you had Mabel with you the other day?
No.
and the women thought you were gay.
But
Are you okay?
I'm not talking when I was 16. I'm talking about my late 20s. I was hooked, and I'm like, I need nicotine, you know?
Can you not just walk to a 24-hour?
I think it was just in situations where that wasn't available. And I just think about, like, I'm so lucky I never encountered heroin.
Yeah.
People talk about, like, sucking a dick for heroin. I would have sucked a dick the first day.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, have some heroin, where's my dick? Let's do this.
Even before you'd run out, you'd be like,
Yeah, okay,
I'm running low.
This is good. Okay, how do I procure more? Like, I'm just
going to suck a dick for a rainy day.
Yeah. Wait, what about I suck your dick now and you just, like, save that for later when I need more?
Because I've got loads on me at the moment.
Yeah.
I've got enough for a year. I'm just worried about next year.
Yeah. I'll blow you every day, though, so we're ahead of the curve.
Put that in the bank. Oh, my God.
Your cum is in my bank, and I want to be in your bank. My bank is my stomach. You've came into my stomach. And now I want you to put some yummy yum yum in my arm. Tasty treats help me forget that childhood. Let's party.
You would have been someone in 1950 who would have hated the bin bag. And I bet you those people going, oh, this is shit, you bloody libtards. You're supposed to throw my trash out. And you'd be like, what is this? Everyone's so PC now. We got to put our rubbish in bags.
I love that even in your stupid impression of the 1950s, you call people libtards.
Well, that's what you would have been saying.
I've never used the word.
People say that.
I know that. Red, you could literally say anything and then say people say that. That's not a defense of saying something.
No, I was saying what I was doing as you. I was kind of acting as you, so I can get away with saying it because I was in your mind frame. So I wasn't saying it as myself.
Oh, I didn't know it was just that easy.
Yeah, I
didn't know we could just do impressions of each other, and then I could say anything I think you would say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm Red. What do I think about the age of consent? Suggestion. Just a suggestion.
But what is that?
That's you.
Yeah, but I'll carry on and go, I think it should be higher. And then right back at you, so we can play this game. Hi, I'm Bobby. I don't think the Holocaust actually happened. There we go.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to release that as a clip on social media. No one will know your name's not Bobby because no one knows who we are. And then that'll go viral with you saying, hi, I'm Bobby. I don't think the Holocaust actually happened.
And then loads of people write abuse to you because my name's Red on Twitter.
No. I will hack your Twitter and change your name to Bobby Richardson.
Well, I'm opening for you on your tour, which I'm more than up for with these sorts of things on the horizon.
Very exciting for me.
Very, very exciting. 1950 was also the birth of the actor William H. Macy.
A great actor.
Yep.
Fargo.
He's in Shameless, the American version.
Yeah, he's so good in that. What I love about, have you seen UK Shameless?
Yeah. I've never seen an American one.
What I love about it is his character never gets better.
Okay, it's same in America.
He's just a debilitating alcoholic the whole time, a terrible father. Mm-hmm. His children hate him. And the American one lasts for like 10 years. So all the child actors become adults throughout the show, and their daddy is still just a loser.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's great. He was great in Fargo. I loved him in that. I thought he was brilliant. He's done a lot of good work.
Did you watch Fargo, the TV series?
No, never.
It's so good.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
Because it was a great movie. It's like, we're going to split it into 20.
No, that's not what they did.
Don't do that.
That's
just
not what they
leave
did.
it.
They just took the premise of Fargo, the world of Fargo.
The great, perfect hour and a half, and went, let's make this 25 hours.
It's great.
Is it?
The first 3 seasons are very good.
Okay. I'm all about new stuff.
Are you?
I've never watched The American Office. I've never watched The American Shameless because I don't need to. I've seen the English version, and I go, make something new. Don't go, we're going to make a new version of this, or let's make a TV series out of this.
The American Office is incredible.
There's a TV series for Nurse Ratched from the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's ridiculous.
That's not what we're talking about. That's a different conversation.
I'm talking about people making TV shows out of great things from films.
Okay, most TV shows suck. So if you list every adaptation, yes, most of them suck. But then most original things suck. It's very hard to do anything well.
It just seems to me like let's make a TV show of Christoph Waltz's character in Inglourious Basterds. You know,
I'd love to
that'd
see
be actually
that.
good. I'm
That
sorry.
would be amazing. If they made if Tarantino made a TV series about Christoph Waltz living in, where did he move to? The Hamptons, was it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, and they put cuts.
Yeah. So he has a swastika carved
Actually,
into
that's
his
a
head.
good series. Okay.
He has a swastika carved into his head, and it's just the TV series
of his life after that.
of his life in America as a former Nazi, just rising to the top.
That was a terribly bad example. 'Cause
It was
it's a good
incredible.
show. Okay, I made a mistake there.
And Brad Pitt is just in like every like few episodes he shows up and just punches Christoph Waltz in the face.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And eventually
I
he'd
picked
run
the
for-
worst character.
He'd run for office. He would he'd
settle down and
he'd open a nightclub called like the socialists or something, like the National Socialists. Kind of like a play on Nazi, you know.
Or he'd meet a lady and they'd have kids and he'd have to go to sports day with a swastikas in his head. Yeah, no, that wasn't a good example. But you get what I'm saying. We don't have to make series out of stuff that's already happened before and done well. Really done very well.
Okay, well, now we have your opinion on it. So they shouldn't, the Star Wars TV shows, you're not interested.
Why would I be interested?
Okay, what do you like? The Sopranos.
I love The Sopranos.
Based on a book.
Didn't need the movie. Sopranos is not based on a book.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You
Okay,
think of
I'm
The Godfather,
lying. I
yeah.
just thought I could trick you.
Well, you can't trick me. Nothing gets past this head, buddy.
Game of Thrones, you loved. You watched all of.
Based on a book. Read the book first.
Yeah, but that means it's based. But you said you don't like any adaptations.
Okay, but
why did you bother watching?
I didn't say
the TV?
adaptations. I said what you're doing is taking something already well done and making another. So
Well, the book was already well done.
Yes, but it's not a visual thing. So I understand that. Like The Godfather was a book. They made it into a great movie. It's good to make books into movies. Don't make movies into TV series.
So books into movies is
Fine.
okay.
Fine with
Movies
me.
into TV series bad. What about a book into a TV series?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Okay.
Because they're different mediums. You know? So it's absolutely fine. Don't go, I'm going to split this up. How about, Bobby, we make one of your jokes into 10 jokes?
I'd love that. I'd have 10 jokes. That sounds great.
Okay, fine.
William H. Macy.
William H. I forgot where we were. Sorry, we got so into it. William H. Macy. So big star, big star. Unfortunately, bit of a problems in his personal life. In 2019. Do you remember the scandal where parents in America, rich parents, paid for very smart people to pretend to be their kids to take exams for them?
That wasn't exactly what happened, though. We were pretending that the kids were on sports teams to get scholarships.
That was part of it, but so this is all wrapped up in it.
Okay.
What happened with him is him and his wife. Well, his wife was the only one who did jail time.
Felicity Huffman.
Yeah, they paid someone to take their daughter's exam for them.
Did they?
Yeah. So someone much smarter went in and took the exam, and they went, grades a bit good for the old H Macy kid. I'm not sure if she's called H Macy.
I think that's his middle name. You don't give your kid your middle name.
He might have. And I think so they got caught. She spent 14 days in jail. She got out 2 days early because one of the days landed on a weekend, and it's just called being white in America. And she got fined 30 grand.
That's fair.
Yeah, it is fair.
That story was so overblown. They made it seem like, okay, so what's the problem was that rich people paid to get their kids in university. Is that wrong? Yes. But super rich people just pay to build a wing of a university, and then that's how they get their kids in.
Exactly.
So these rich people just didn't have quite enough money to do it the way that the super rich do.
Yeah.
They just did it there was like one coach too, wasn't there?
Yeah, he got offered like $250K, I think it was.
No, but there was one, the guy who orchestrated all of it.
Yeah. So he'd give people sports scholarships.
Yes.
And then suddenly there'd be like some obese person on the fucking running team.
Yeah.
They go, how the fuck? He's really fast. He's just, he ate a Snickers before.
This developmentally delayed obese child is apparently the star of the track team at Harvard University.
Yeah, he's not obese. What you're seeing here is he's so fast, you're seeing 7 of him at once.
He's running in a circle.
It's a whirlwind. It's not a fat boy.
Yes.
Imagine how insulting it was for their kid, though. When she's going to the exam, she gets in the car and they go, Hello, darling. This is Sarah. She's gonna do your exam for you today.
Mommy and Daddy just think that you're stupid. And as a stupid girl, you should hide your head in the dirt so Mommy and Daddy can still look successful when you go to a good school.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry, but if you're rich, it doesn't really matter. Just leave your kids loads of money. They don't need grades.
Yeah, nobody, like, university's hard.
Yeah.
Like, doing work is hard. Just give your kid a job on a film set.
Yeah.
Let them go. If they're not that smart,
It doesn't
they'll find
matter.
their
Our
way.
industry is full of fucking idiots like that.
And, like, I think what we've learned, at least from all the people we know who have, like, university degrees and no jobs, is it doesn't really take you that far. Like,
you can have a 2-2 from the best 72nd best university in the country. It doesn't open as many doors as you think.
Yes. Like someone has like a BA in history. People aren't like, oh my God, really? You read about history for a few years. Well, would you run my company? Nobody cares.
No one cares. Also, the thing is, how long is the cheating going on for till she gets found out? In terms of the student getting found out, like, are they going to pay for that same woman to be her for the whole time? And then...
Yeah, once they're there, they still have to do the work.
You still have to do the work, but also, what if they just have the woman get their whole diploma or whatever it's called for her? She leaves, she gets a job on the cabinet for, like, Hillary Clinton or whoever the fuck would be, you know.
It's actually this is a good defense of it being fine that they bribed the way in. If the kid did well in the school once they were there, you kind of think, well, actually, it worked out.
No, because then they get a real job and they could be, like, in charge of something in the government. And they go, oh, we're going to bomb North Korea. And she goes, where's that?
Yeah.
Why is this? Who is this idiot? She's got a first. Yeah, it's not her. It's this, this other lady. But then also her boyfriends or whoever met her, her girlfriends would think she's smart. And then they got to date this person. They go, oh, she got first. So meeting her, and she's really into. Do they send the other woman to do that as well? Soon the other woman's having babies for their daughter. And they go, actually, should we just get rid of this one? Because this lady's costing us a fortune.
We like the new girl.
Yeah, because what they want is the new girl's head.
So they're going to cut off the new girl's head and glue it to their old daughter's body and make a super daughter.
Yeah. Because it's never going to... You can cheat, but it's never going to take away from the fact that your daughter's a fucking moron.
Did you ever cheat?
What, in exams?
Yeah.
If I could have, I would have. I don't think I was smart enough.
You weren't smart enough to cheat. When I was in the 9th grade, our science teacher would give us a cheat sheet for exams. So a tiny card where you could write whatever you wanted to on the card.
No.
So what I did was I printed the entire everything I would need for the exam in like size 3 font and glued it to the card.
Very
so my
good.
cheat sheet had everything on it.
That is, yeah.
And I wasn't breaking a rule.
I wish I'd known this before we took the IQ test, but
I've always found good loopholes.
Why did your teacher give you a cheat sheet?
I don't know. It was unorthodox, definitely. His name was Mr. Ehrenberg. He just had an unorthodox style of teaching.
That's illegal.
It's not illegal, Red. It's not. He's not going
also,
to prison.
It's not like your class. I'm assuming you weren't in the creme de la creme.
I wasn't the creme de la creme. I wasn't in Canada. I was in the top.
Let's get these boys a D.
I was in the top class, actually, Red. I was in the strain of classes that usually people go to university. Of course I was.
You weren't with the Trudeaus.
I was with the Trudeaus.
No one was expecting a bin bag being invented by you.
I was a Trudeau.
You were not a Trudeau.
I'm a Trudeau. I'm actually, lately, Trudeau's having problems with the truckers, but...
No. But what do you think? Why didn't he go to jail? And why did the mum go to jail? So the mum, I didn't know about her at all.
Well, she probably sent the emails. She probably orchestrated it.
And she's like the soccer mum, angry.
But she's been accepted back into Hollywood. The other lady hasn't. There's the lady who is Aunt Becky on Full House.
Oh, really?
Her and her husband did the same thing, but they wouldn't plead guilty. So they said they're going to go to trial, and they kept threatening them with like 30 years in prison or something, and they were like, "We're innocent," and everyone's like, "I mean, you're not. Listen, should this be this big of a deal? Maybe not, but you're not innocent. You did it." And they kept saying, "We didn't do it," and everyone was like, so all the vitriol wasn't on Felicity Huffman. It was on these two.
That's what you want when someone, if you're ever in a big scandal, you want someone who's really indignant about being caught. So you can just sit there.
she was the Prince Andrew of this scandal, taking all the heat. And then Felicity Huffman was just like Clinton and Trump, just except she pled guilty. Clinton and Trump are just
Yeah.
dodging.
Well, yeah, they just sort of just having anyone. Yeah. having-
Allegedly.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. She was in Desperate
Allegedly.
Housewives. This woman, I'd never heard of her. I didn't know who she was at all.
Well, you don't, Desperate Housewives, you don't like television shows.
I preferred the English version of Desperate Housewives.
What was that called?
Hollyoaks. It was brilliant.
Okay.
No, I've never. I remember watching a bit of it. It was on.
I think actually what we're getting is you're just you just like things that are British.
No, I don't want to watch the same thing twice in a different way. So I wouldn't watch the English version of The Sopranos.
I'd love to watch the English version of The Sopranos.
Well, if there's a different show, I'd love an English gangster film.
What
but-
city do you think they'd set it in?
Well, probably Essex, because Jersey's kind of the Essex.
Yes. I would. You don't want to see an Essex gangster TV.
Do you know what's happened here? Is someone's going to listen to this and make the series of the Nazi from Inglourious Bastards become a multi-billionaire, and then they'll make this one as their next idea.
We're having great ideas, actually.
Yeah, and we'll just sit here and we'll be like, 1921, have you seen that new show that was made now? We talked about it on the pod 3 years ago.
I'd love to see an Essex gangster. I haven't seen that. It's always East London. It's like, but East London gangsters did all people
Moved to
everyone-
Essex.
Yeah. So show me Essex crime in Essex.
Big houses, stuff like that. And stuff, so there's that. Well, do not steal our stuff because we're giving you free content as it is. We're not going to give you free money as well. There's some fucking good ideas going on here. Yeah, I don't know what he could have stood up for his wife and gone. Maybe I'll take the 12 days in prison.
No, he couldn't. No, if she sent the emails, she sent the emails. Also, he has the more, I would say,
bigger career.
Look, Felicity Huffman's very established in her own right, to be fair. But I think he is maybe the moneymaker out of the two. Maybe. I'm guessing. And she's like, I'll take the heat here. Keep your name pure.
Yeah.
They don't have the same last name. It's easy.
He would have, his character in Fargo, if he'd been less of a loser, would have done exactly this.
Yes.
There's no way he wasn't involved. And the daughter now just has this stink around her because there's the girl whose parents thought she was so fucking stupid.
Hey, dummy!
Yeah. And it's like, I bet she's like, I just wanted the best for my child. It's like, your child is a white millionaire in America. You've already given them the best,
Yeah, they don't need
any more.
education.
Just give them a credit card, let them get a coke problem, send them to rehab at 25, and then put them on the board of some shit company. And that's all you need to do.
I don't think you put them. I don't know if it's easy that you put them on the board.
Well, I bet they've got a production company. I bet they do. Macy Productions. She'll make her producer. She'll go and fire all the old guys who've actually done good work there. And she'll be like, I'm shaking it up around
Do you think
here.
the store Macy's is William H. Macy? Do you think?
No. But I'm sure he's got his own. I bet you he's got a production company. Do you not think he would? Everyone does. I've got one.
What's yours called?
Rock Hard Red Production.
Rock Hard Red. You didn't think that through at all. You just started talking and then called it Rock Hard Red, which sounds like a dog's hard dick.
it's
Little red rockets coming at you. Spunking dog cum wherever it needs to.
Did you watch Desperate Housewives? So she was
Not lately. I mean, I've seen episodes when I was like a teenager. It was a long time ago.
She's been nominated for loads of Emmys and stuff like that.
She's quite established.
So they've obviously got a lot of money.
No, Red, they have no money.
Well,
Yeah, of course they're rich.
It's just, yeah. I think you've got too much money when you're paying someone to take your daughter's exams for you. But I didn't want to. Macy is a great actor. He was great in Fargo, and I didn't want that to be the focus of the year of his birth. But I just thought it was intriguing, and I watched the documentary about it on that streaming service that we are no longer allowed to mention on this podcast.
Yeah, until they are pumping money into this, they're not getting a name
Or
drop.
they give one of us a special.
Even though we both probably spend 6 hours a day on said streaming service, and it's the happiest moments of our day.
Mm-hmm.
And we would want nothing more than our comedy to
On
be
there.
featured.
Yeah, I want my comedy, just even half an hour of it, just to be shoved in alongside 1,000 hours about serial killers
Yes.
on said streaming service. Anyway, Bobby, what else have we got in the final championship rounds of this podcast?
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, but in 1950, in East Germany, you ever been there? It's now just called Germany.
Okay, no. I've never been to Germany, no.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never thought to go?
No, I like the English version. No. I just never been. I want to go do comedy. Apparently in Berlin there's some good clubs. So.
But are you still angry about the war? Is that why
No,
you're
not
white?
at all.
You
I
seem
don't-
like someone who would hold on to old grievances.
That's a very old grievance, but no, I've just never been. It's not that sunny, and
it's their beautiful summers.
Yeah, I like
better than here. This is the grayest, shittiest fucking island in the world.
Yeah, but
it's not that sunny. What are you talking about?
We have roast dinners and Ferris wheels and fry-ups.
We're in the biggest city
in
the country, and there's one Ferris wheel.
I'm not going to fly somewhere to eat a hot dog.
They're really good hot dogs.
I know, I'm sure they're good. Apparently their beer's incredible as well. I would go. I just haven't been. If I'm going to go on holiday, I want to go somewhere with a beach and heat.
Can I take you to Berlin?
I'd go, yeah, but okay. What would you want to do? You'd want to do something disgusting, though.
Okay.
You'd go to like a 24-hour club.
What are you talking? What would I do there?
They have those clubs where everyone dances and people jizz on them from the balcony.
You think my idea of a great German holiday is having cum rain down upon me?
That's like your Pizza Express.
What do you...
That's your idea of a trip to Pizza Express. Anyway, sorry, go on.
East Germany.
Yeah.
1950. The Stasi.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say it?
Stasi.
I say Stazis because they're like Nazis, but
Okay.
Stazis.
Yep, and I'm the stupid one. Carry on, yeah.
We're both stupid. One is not more stupid than the other. We both have no business talking about anything we're talking about.
Yeah, but that didn't stop.
The Stasi reformed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In East Germany. So this is communist East Germany, split up with West Germany.
Everyone knows East Germany's communist.
Well, they might not.
Well, if you don't, now you do.
Given the comments about my appearance, I realize we've got some fucking morons who listen
No.
to this podcast.
Do not call our most devoted... These people are geniuses who are adept at recognizing ways to hurt you.
So they're formed, and that's basically a snitching network to snitch on people.
It's a giant snitching network that grows and grows and grows and grows. And it's just about population surveillance to try to ensure that the populace is doing what you want.
They don't want anyone going to West Germany and stuff like that.
No, but they also just don't want any dissent.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where by 1989, 39 years later, the organization's still going, and it relied on 500,000 to 2 million collaborators, as well as 100,000 regular employees. It maintained files on approximately 6 million East German citizens, more than 1/3 of the population.
Jesus.
So there's a 1 in 3 chance you're being watched.
So there's a factory just full of files.
And there's like a 1 in 6 chance you're working for them.
Yeah. It's not well. It kind of stops.
It's just everyone.
You don't just turn to your mate and go, this is shit, isn't it?
And now, I mean, social media has replaced everything they would have got about people and their habits. We now just freely put online and no one cares.
In the lockdown, it was amazing for that. Do you remember that journalist lady who was like slagging everyone off? And she, I can't remember what she called, but she did an article about how lockdown wasn't that hard for her because she grew up in a tiny room with all her brothers and sisters. And someone tweeted saying, well, it's funny you're writing this because lockdown doesn't seem that hard for you because you were having a party in my next door neighbour's garden yesterday talking really loudly. And it just went super viral. Caitlin Moran, she's called. Some curtain twitcher caught her out.
Was that Caitlin Moran?
Yeah.
Like the writer Caitlin Moran?
Yeah.
Was it true?
She never, addressed it, so it's gotta be. And it went super viral.
Again, I don't know if this is true or not. Red just read something on Twitter and now is disparaging my hero Richard Branson, my good friend Caitlin Moran.
Was she? I don't know. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm literally
my former girlfriend Felicity Huffman.
I'm more. Shame she didn't pay for you to get through college. I'm more pointing out that her next door neighbour was a little snitch is what I'm saying.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly a snitch. I'm going to look it up because it is worth looking into. Why are you scared of her? Because she's like friends with famous comedians.
I'm not scared of her. I just don't know her. And I feel like...
We don't know anyone we talk about in this podcast.
But Red, you get so many things wrong. A couple episodes, Red, you did it again where you reported on a story that didn't even happen in the year. What year was it, Jody?
1929, I said 1927, but I called myself out on it.
No, it was
the
Brits.
The Brits, but that didn't matter because the Earth song came out that year, and as a follow-on from that, I said Jarvis Cocker attacked him.
the next year.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Our song came out in 95.
No one's saying it matters.
When someone's like, he mooned him, he didn't try and hit him, so well, shut up. Anyway.
So I'm just saying, generally, sometimes
No, I can tell you what I'm saying.
your
You're scared
facts are
because Caitlin
shaky.
Moran is friends
No.
with powerful female comics, and you're scared of talking about
I'm
her.
not scared. Your facts are shaky.
His-
You have shaky
okay,
facts.
okay,
Have you
okay.
found the article?
I found it. Sanctimonious hypocrite. Neighbor calls out
This
author.
is the Daily Mail you're reading, isn't it?
No.
What is it?
Daily Mail.
We can't take the Daily Mail as a definitive source.
Can I just say what they said? Neighbor calls out author Caitlin Moran after she writes Isolation is Easy column by revealing she spent the whole of Good Friday loudly breaking the rules in a friend's garden. I'll go back onto Google for you, Bobby, my Google web browser.
But
Okay.
listen, Red,
The Times reported
again,
on
is
it.
Google giving us money?
The Times reported
Are
on
they
it.
giving us money? No, so we don't say their name on the podcast. Until we have a sponsor, you don't say any brands' names. Say Oogle. They'll know what you mean.
Every person. I'll say Aitlin Oran so you don't get in trouble with the famous comedians.
No,
you're scared
read
about
the
saying.
article. Read the article.
Yeah, they've all said. It's not just the Daily Mail. There's loads of people who are saying she did this.
No, they're not saying she did this. They're saying the neighbor said she did it.
Okay. The broadcaster, 45, appears to have not taken her own direction after it is claimed she was spotted loudly flouting the rules at a friend's home in Holloway, North London. Resident Simon Thompson took to social media to criticise the star's condescending article after he spotted Moran in a neighbourhood garden. He wrote, at the Times, maybe you want to reconsider this article considering Caitlin Moran spent most of yesterday afternoon loudly breaking the lockdown rules in my neighbour's garden. Would rather not have this tweeted out respect for my neighbour, but can't stand the thought of someone making money off being a sanctimonious hypocrite. And so she never responded. The Times didn't do anything. You would think she might have sued. I don't know. But
That is the worst thing about COVID. It just turned us into little snitches.
yeah, but, sorry, I just used that as an example because of the
No, I
Stasi.
understand. You hate all of my heroes. Felicity Huffman, Caitlin Moran, Richard Branson.
I don't hate
my
Caitlin
good
Moran.
friends and heroes.
I don't hate Felicity Huffman. She was just trying to get the best for a fucking stupid idiot daughter. But no, lockdown really did that to a lot of people. Like so many people were like, "Man, I saw my neighbor and two people go in, and he's bought 5
And
toilet
like 2
rolls."
weeks later, you'd be doing the same thing, and you're like, oh well.
I didn't snitch on anyone. That's not what I'm about.
No, I mean we had neighbors at our old place. They kept having people over and breaking lockdown rules. I wasn't gonna call the police on them.
No.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's all just chill out.
Yeah. You don't have to. You don't have to tell on everyone.
Yeah.
On every little crime you see. It would be awful though. It's the same in North Korea. I listened to this thing. There's actually a book called "Nothing to Envy." Good book. Not so people can actually.
It's about North Korea.
North Korea. But a lady talks about how her dad never used to drink because he was worried about what he would say if he drank, and he one day took them in the middle of the night and just took them to South Korea, and they now live in Australia. Quite the culture difference.
Sounds like a nice story.
Yeah, barbecues and surfing from North Korea. But that's because of the same thing as what was happening in East Germany.
Actually, also in 1950,
Mm.
the Korean War started.
Mm.
Did you know America made it into North Korea during
Yeah.
the war? And they made it into, like, Pyongyang. And, like, it seemed like
My granddad was in the Korean War.
they were going to have a unified Korea,
Mhm.
but then China got in there, fought
Mhm.
back, and then...
And we were like, oh, leave it. What's the worst that can happen? Look at us now. An angry little man in North Korea with his finger on the button.
Oh, you don't like Kim Jong-un either. Oh, okay, well...
What, did you date him as well?
Like, just because someone commits a genocide
Yeah,
against his
yeah,
own
yeah.
people for his entire rule, and his
Mm.
father does the same, and his father before him does the same,
Mhm.
doesn't mean you can tarnish that family with the same brush. There might be members of his family who are good people, like his uncle, who he had fed to dogs.
Yeah, he's no longer around. Who was
Or his brother, who he had assassinated
Yeah.
for being a snitch.
Well, his brother was meant to take over, and he got caught trying to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, I think his brother was also leaking intelligence to an
Yeah, it wasn't just
agency,
Disneyland.
and then he was
I'd
killed.
rather a person who wanted Disneyland because it seems like we could sort of integrate with them a bit more.
The way he killed his brother was pretty impressive, though.
with the pranksters.
When I say impressive, I mean like disgusting.
Just horrible, yeah.
Yeah, but it was impressive. Yeah, those two girls allegedly
Mm.
were in the airport in Malaysia,
Mhm.
and they were told they're on a prank show, and they just have to go and like like push this thing into this guy's face. And they did it, not knowing it was poison, and then killed Kim Jong-un's brother.
I think you'd ask what was in the thing.
They told they were on a prank show.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Wait, so you would just be given a bucket and you go, throw this in their face, Bobby, for Comedy Central?
I want to be on TV. Yeah, what do I have to do?
Fair enough.
What do I have to do? I assassinated someone. That'll make good content. That's good content. That'll get at least 100,000 views, won't it?
Bobby, take this
I could
fizzy cup, that hot fizzy cup, and throw it in Keir
If I could
Starmer's
sell
face.
a few more tickets to my tour by assassinating the brother of a demagogue,
Yeah.
let's party.
Yeah.
It's not like his brother was a great guy.
You'd be opening for Cosby on his prison tour.
I'm not opening for Bill Cosby on his prison tour, but I did hear a story that apparently performed when he was in prison and really killed.
Yeah, this guy, I heard that as well, and he said he was like, I never found him funny before. Which is like, such an odd time to start liking Bill Cosby.
Yes.
But he said he saw him, and he's like, he's just a true master of the craft.
Well,
Killing it in prison.
that's one prisoner talking about one of America's biggest serial rapists.
Yes, yes. All right, Bobby, it's our section at the end that we do.
Dick of the Year.
Yeah,
I would nominate for Dick of the Year you.
you surprised me.
No, because you've slandered everyone we've spoken about today.
Well,
You're the dick of 1950.
I am not. I found someone even worse than me.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is possible.
I will hear you out.
Okay, I'm going to try and make my case for this now. It is a man. Do you know what myxomatosis is?
Yeah, of course, but remind me.
It's a disease. Rabbits generally get it. And they introduced it to the population of Australia, to the rabbit population of Australia, not to the people. Yeah,
They wiped
get
them
your
out.
shot, get rid of them. And they thought it was going to kill off the rabbits in Australia. It did not, because
Okay.
some rabbits became immune to it, and the strain weakened and weakened and weakened. But it was just sort of like, but at first it did wipe out quite a lot. You'd think that rabbits would be have quite a lot of predators in Australia. You'd hope they would, but they're obviously quite a hard population to keep down. But this is not Dick of the Year. Dick of the Year is a man called Paul Felix Armand de Lilly, who, it wasn't 1952, it wasn't 1950, it was 1952, but he got the idea from 1950.
The year 1950 gave him the idea.
Yes, no, he got the idea from myxomatosis from the spread in Australia. He owned an estate in northwestern France. He was a very rich man.
Been there, nice place.
I have been there as
Northwestern
well.
France.
Yeah, very good. He owned that. And he was his estate was overrun by rabbits. So it's eating into his crops, all this sort of stuff.
Rabbits or rabbits?
Rabbits.
I thought you said rabbits.
Yeah, they're eating all his plants. They're eating all his, he's got a veg patch because he's rich and he's had enough of the rabbits. So what he does is he decides to inject 2 wild rabbits with myxomatosis on his estate to solve the problem.
He started a rabbit genocide.
Basically, yes. Someone said some of the dissemination of the virus clearly appeared deliberate. Yeah. He started a huge rabbit genocide. It spread all over Europe. According to estimates, the wild rabbit population in the United Kingdom fell by 99%, in France by 90 to 95%, and in Spain by 95%. All because this guy didn't want rabbits on his estate.
He killed
Yeah, he killed off
all of the rabbits of Europe.
This is the worst part. This in turn drove specialized rabbit predators such as the Iberian lynx and the Spanish imperial eagle to the brink of extinction. There's now in 2012, there's 90 lynx left, and I think most of them live in captivity. He's fucking wiped out 2 Spanish imperial eagle. I've never heard of it, and because this guy I haven't heard of it, it sounds incredible.
But on the good,
Sounds better than a pigeon.
if we're looking on the bright side, there probably would have been more lettuce and carrots.
Yeah, that is the bright side, but at what cost, Bobby?
Well, yeah, I'm not advocating for the genocide of 3 species because this guy didn't. Also, rabbits are adorable.
Yeah, I know. It's just, but one guy. So within a year of him doing this with the 2 wild rabbits, 45% of the wild rabbits in France had died of the disease, along with 35% of domestic rabbits. So he's just killing children's pets because he wanted more carrots, and he's sick of his lettuce getting destroyed.
And was he punished?
No, so
He should have been put in prison or something.
so the effect on the rabbit population of France was dramatic. From 1952 to 1953, the total number of rabbits was exceeded 55 million.
Oh my God.
So this sorts out the punishment thing. Armando Delili found himself both condemned by rabbit hunters and showered with praise by farmers and foresters. So a lot of people were like, "You're a dick," and then loads of people were like, "You're great." He was prosecuted and he was convicted and fined of 5,000 francs. Fuck all. He was later honoured in 1956. He was awarded a gold medal to commemorate his achievement.
By who?
By Bernard Dufay, honorary director general of the French Department of Rivers and Forests. The medal depicts Armand Delili on one side and a dead rabbit on the other. Woo! So quite a divisive figure. I think he's a dick.
I would agree, even though I don't want to, that a man who culled 3 species from this earth is slightly more of a dick than you've been for the last hour.
Well, that makes me feel good, Dobby, because I wasn't sure you were going to go with that.
So what's his name again?
His name is Armand Delili.
Well, Armand Delili, you are Dick of the Year.
And on that note, let's read out quickly some of the insults and then who announced the winner for free tickets to the Bobby Mair tour, which I will be on.
Red is on most dates. I want to make that clear.
I'm on most dates.
You can't clarify. We can't guarantee Red's on all the dates. There might be dates where I don't want to spend time with Red.
Oh, I was busy doing better paid stuff with more respectful people in bigger rooms. But carry on.
Okay, so we had a lot, and I mean like hundreds of messages about Red looking awful. We'll start with, there was a guy named, a great fan, Spencer Streicher, and Spencer went less with quality and more quantity.
Some of them were great.
Red looks like he needs a hug, but smells too bad. It's very nice of Bobby to support Red since he's transitioning into a walrus. Red only resembles Pablo as if Escobar sold cake instead of Coke.
You actually said that at my wedding.
Red has his first TV appearance recently. Too bad that his appearance was fat. NASA recently declared him as the 9th planet in our solar system.
Childish.
It was nice of Red to take on Harriet's baby weight. I like that one because it's personal and mean.
Yeah, that's good.
We've all heard of a dad bod. Red has a sad bod. That's great.
I think Spencer's based in Germany. So if we ever go there, he gets free tickets.
But Spencer, I'm sorry you're not the winner, but we appreciate where you're coming from. Spencer,
he called me John Snowglobe as well. I thought that was quite good.
There was too many to read,
Yeah.
but this is in the running. Red looks better dressed than Kanye. Imagine Freddie Mercury if he'd had a donut obsession.
Who's that from?
That is from Lee Myers Cough.
Give him a ticket.
Nope. I'm sorry, Lee. You're going to have to buy your ticket because the winner is Reese Foley.
Okay, what did he say?
Reese tweeted a picture of a piece of gum with hair on it and said, Red Richardson looks like a chewed piece of Hubba Bubba bubble gum that was dropped on the floor of a wimpy restaurant toilet and it got covered in pubes. In a nice way.
And he actually added a picture as well.
Yeah, the picture
sold
it for me.
Okay, so what's his name again, sorry?
Reese Foley, let us know what city you want tickets to because you hurt Red the most.
Thank you very much. We'll do one about Bobby at some point in the future.
We won't.
No.
Oh, I forgot to say, actually, Lee Myers Cough ended his insult by saying, Bobby looks like a recovering addict, by the way. I am a recovering addict. That's not really an insult. You look like you used to do a lot of drugs. Yeah, thank you, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
But the competition was on insult Bobby. It was hurt Red.
He added that there. There was a nice lady who said, oh, it's a shame I've already bought my tickets to Carlisle, and I don't want to insult Red anyway. So thank you very much to whoever said that. This has been the Year Is podcast. Another good episode.
Maybe the last.
It's not the last. We'll be back with you next week with another brilliant year. Please
Richard Branson might be coming after us.
Oh, fuck him. Please keep emailing in and tweet about us. So we want more listeners. So just keep tweeting, telling all your friends, leave us reviews. It all really helps. And thank you so much for listening and watching.
Thank you. And
Bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Year Is, with me, comedian Bobby Mair, and my sometimes friend Red Richardson. This podcast has been produced by our brilliant producer, Jody VandenBurg. Thank you.